Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. Starting off our day right by really affirming what is true and beautiful and right and amazing about us. So, good morning, everybody who is here. Good morning, Josiah and Jan, as well as the other folks who haven't yet left a comment. It is wonderful that you are on the stream today. It is Thursday. We are getting close to the end of the week, and quite honestly, it has been a roller coaster of a week for me. I hope that it's been amazing for you as well. So let's get right into it because I have a lot to do today, and I need to get myself in the right headspace to do it. So we're going to do the same thing we do every morning. I'm going to pull a card off the top of the deck. I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on that card, and we are going to respond out loud together. I am that affirmation. We're going to bring these words into our lives, and we are going to just continually build into our own experience. So let's have some fun today, and let's declare that today I am determined. I am determined. I move intentionally toward my dreams. So I am determined. I move intentionally toward my dreams. Are you determined? You are determined. You move intentionally toward your dreams. I'm gonna write that down in the comments that I am determined and that I move intentionally toward my dreams. And I encourage you to do the same thing. Jen's already beat me to it. Yes, indeed, we are determined people. We are here making the small steps necessary every single day. I remember that when I first really started to get into growth and personal development, self-development, one of the things that really hit me was that all the stuff that was holding me back was mostly in my head. It was mostly due to my own preconceptions of who I was. And when I decided that I was going to behave differently, when I realized that my dreams were really big and that I wasn't getting them done because they were so big, because I couldn't just break them down into little chunks, when I recognized that, I was able to just start doing things completely different. I was able to just start really breaking these dreams down and saying, okay, well, of course, when we're kids, the dreams that we have are oftentimes they're fairly small. Oftentimes, when an adult gives a child a project, it's a project that can typically get done in one sitting. But then, as we get to be older, well, the projects that we start get bigger. The projects, our dreams get bigger. I mean, some of these dreams take a lifetime to accomplish, and when they do that, it could be very easy to be like, well, it's so big, I just don't even have any idea how I'm going to get it done. So I'm just not going to get this. I'm not going to start. I'm going to do something that I can accomplish today rather than working on something that I can't accomplish in one day. Happens to me all the time. Even though I understand how it works, it still happens to me. Just yesterday, I was doing some work on Sales Hub HQ, which is my marketing agency. I was doing some work on the back end of it, and I realized I had inside of my head that I had to get this 1.1 release completely done in one sitting. Well, going from a 1.0 release to a 1.1 release is a lot of work, and it doesn't happen in one sitting. It happens across multiple different sittings. And so, I mean, I was just kind of staring at it, and I was confused because it was just so much. I kept going back and forth through my head. Well, I got to do this. Well, I got to do that. Well, I got to do this. I got to do that. And then every time that I would log on to the back end of my software and start programming, I'd find new things that I needed to do. And it was just getting overwhelming. It was getting confusing, and I was just spinning my wheels. And I recognized it. And so what I did was I grabbed my notebook, and every time I saw something that needed to be done, I just wrote it down on my to-do list in my notebook. And then I continued focusing on the one thing that I was working on. And at the end of the day, instead of just being confused or having a product that was even worse when I started or when I ended than when I started, in the end, I had this whole list of things that needed to be improved upon, every one of which could be broken down into an easy, actionable step that could be accomplished in like an hour. And so today I'm looking at that to-do list, and before I was on the wake up call, I it's incredible. I have I woke up this morning and somebody had bought my system. It's not even for sale yet, but somebody had found my website, which is not advertised anywhere, and actually signed up for it. And there's absolutely no support or anything for these people at all. But somebody had actually bought this thing that's not even totally done yet, and so I realized that the work is sufficiently good, but at the same time, it creates more work for me to support somebody who bought something before it's even ready to be sold. But I was able to take a look at that and recognize that, okay, that would have been even more overwhelming for me. Instead of, it's usually exciting when you sell something, but it would have been even more overwhelming for me if I didn't have a solid plan in place that I did yesterday, that I wrote up yesterday. And so I am determined. I move intentionally toward my dreams. And today I am moving intentionally. I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to start plugging away at the most important things. And I'm just going to add my to-do list to contact this person and say, hey, listen, you bought something that's still in beta, and I really appreciate you for doing it. And I'm going to support you more thoroughly than you could imagine because of that. And so essentially, we are going to, you're going to, and this person is ending up being my beta test client. But, I realize that something that would have been overwhelming to me is actually something that I can just put in my list and handle. So I am determined and I move intentionally toward my dreams. And I know that you do as well. And so I'd like to know, like, what kind of a dream are you chasing right now that you need to be moving intentionally toward? And what is the smallest step that you can take toward that dream? What is something that you can accomplish in 5 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour? A friend of mine has a business, and he hires a lot of part timers, and it's basically like, I mean, he has a financial advising business. He hires a lot of part time people who basically work on straight commission, and he tells all of them, he said, you can do this full time, and you can do this part time, but you can't do it in your spare time because nobody has spare time. Like, so if you're gonna do it, do it. If you're gonna do it for full time, then budget 8 hours a day and do it full time. And if you're going to do it part time, budget 4 hours a day and do it part time. If you're going to do it almost not even part time, if you're going to do it for 1 hour a day, budget 1 hour a day and do it 1 hour a day. But you cannot do it in your spare time. Our dreams cannot be accomplished in our spare time. We must intentionally set aside time to get them done. And if they're really big dreams, and any dream worth dreaming is a really big dream. Any dream worth dreaming is a dream that we aren't entirely sure how we're going to accomplish it. But as we do that, let's understand that the best way to handle those things is to just break them down into small chunks, into little manageable things that we know how to do. Or if we don't know how to do them, we can figure them out in a couple hours how to do them, and then have it done, have it be done with it. So I am determined today, and I move intentionally toward my dreams. And I have some big dreams that I am moving intentionally toward today. So, my beautiful friends, thank you so very much for joining the Wake Up Call. It is wonderful to see you. Josiah, I'm glad that this card hits home for you. Your life and dreams have been growing exponentially lately, and I'm really happy for you. That's a wonderful thing. So, good morning to everybody else who is here. It is wonderful to see you here, Jan, Josiah. Good morning, Tony. Thank you for sharing it, Tony. Let's see here. Let's see. So yeah, it looks like you guys are the only ones who have commented right now. Jan says, "How do you eat the elephant? One bite at a time." That is a fact. Do you know how do you make an elephant stew? One elephant, 3,000 gallons of water, and a couple of hairs to taste. There's an actual recipe for it. And yeah, but you only want to use the hairs if absolutely necessary. Not everybody likes to have hair in their stew. Anyways, guys, I will talk to you tomorrow at 9 a.m. I have a very busy day ahead of me. I'm sure that you do as well. Thank you so much for being on the Wake Up Call. Yeah, this is just, your daily reminder that you are a wonderful person, that you are beautiful, that you are magical, that you can accomplish anything that you choose, and that you are accomplishing it one little step at a time. So I'll talk to y'all tomorrow at 9 a.m. And tomorrow being Friday, we will go over all the different cards. So until then, my beautiful friends, aloha from paradise.